Hey wonderful people, welcome to Tales. Today's story starts with a husband giving his wife an ultimatum. Quit your high-paying job and be a housewife, or I leave. And ends with her calmly helping him pack his bags, while he realizes too late that the penthouse, the lifestyle, and the life he loved were all built on the career he wanted her to give up. Let's get into it. I am a senior software architect at a major tech company. 6 figures, stock options, the whole deal. I've worked my tail off for 12 years to get here. Started as an intern, pulled countless all-nighters, got my master's while working full-time. This career didn't just happen to me. I built it brick by brick. My husband works in pharmaceutical sales. He does fine. Makes around $85,000 with commission. Not bad at all. But our lifestyle? That's mostly funded by my income. The penthouse we rent costs $6,200 a month. My salary covers that, plus most of our expenses. His covers his car payment, his hobbies, and he contributes about $1,500 to household stuff. We've been married for 4 years, together for 6. Things were good, or I thought they were. 3 weeks ago, my husband sits me down after dinner. Very serious face. I'm thinking someone died or something. We need to talk about our future, he says. Okay? I'm already nervous. I've been thinking a lot about what I want our life to look like. And I want a traditional family. I want you to quit your job. I actually laughed. Thought he was joking. He wasn't. I'm serious. I want a wife who's home when I get home, who cooks real meals, who can focus on our family instead of working 60 hours a week. We don't even have kids yet, I pointed out. Exactly. And we won't until you're ready to be a real mother. Not some career woman who hands her kids off to nannies. The career woman thing stung. Like it was dirty. My job pays for this apartment, for our vacations, for basically everything nice we have. I'll get promoted. I've been talking to my regional manager. Big things coming. When? Because right now, without my salary, we'd have to move to a studio. He got quiet, then dropped the bomb. This isn't a negotiation. You quit your job, and we build a real family, or I'm done. I can't be married to someone who values spreadsheets over her husband. An ultimatum, after 6 years together. After I supported him through 2 job losses and paid for his car when his got repoed before we even got married. I sat there for maybe 30 seconds, just processing. And honestly, something clicked. Not heartbreak, clarity. This wasn't a man who loved me. This was a man who wanted to control me. Okay, I said calmly. His face lit up. Really? You'll quit? No, I choose my career. The light died real quick. What? You gave me an ultimatum. I made my choice. I'm not quitting my job. So you're choosing work over your marriage? No, you're choosing your ego over our marriage. I'm just respecting your terms. He stood up, pacing. You're supposed to fight for us. Compromise. What compromise? You said quit or you leave. That's not a compromise, that's a demand. And I'm not meeting it. Fine, he spat. Fine. I'll pack my stuff. You'll regret this. I nodded. I'll help you pack. His face. I wish I had a picture of his face. He expected tears, begging, maybe a breakdown. Instead, I walked to our bedroom closet and started pulling out his suitcases. What are you doing? He followed me. Helping you pack. You said you're leaving. Let's go. I didn't mean, I thought we'd talk more about this. You said it wasn't a negotiation, so let's not negotiate. I folded his shirts neatly into the suitcase. He just stood there watching me, completely frozen. Like his brain couldn't process what was happening. Where am I supposed to go? He finally asked. Your mom's house is nice, or maybe your brother has space. This is insane. You're really doing this? You're really doing this. I'm just facilitating. He grabbed my wrist. Stop. Just stop for a second. I pulled away. Don't grab me. I didn't think you'd actually, we can talk about this. Maybe you could go part-time. You said quit, not part-time. And honestly, after this conversation, I don't think I want to be married to someone who sees my career as the enemy. That landed. I saw it register. He'd overplayed his hand and he knew it. He left that night with 2 suitcases and a very confused expression. Went to his mother's house. I changed the entry code on our building. I'm the primary on the lease, my name only since my credit was needed, and slept like a baby. Woke up to 17 missed calls and a string of texts ranging from let's talk to you're being ridiculous to you'll come crawling back. Spoiler, I did not come crawling back. Update 1. 1 week later. So it's been a week. And let me tell you, the entitlement has been astronomical. First, some context. The penthouse lease is solely in my name. When we rented it 3 years ago, my husband's credit wasn't great. See, previous car repo situation I bailed him out of. So I'm the only one on the paperwork. He's not even listed as an occupant because we were told it would complicate the income verification. I didn't think much of it at the time. We were married. What's mine is his and all that, right? Wrong. So very wrong. Day 2 after he left, I get a call from my mother-in-law. Never been her biggest fan, but we were cordial. That's over now. What is wrong with you? No hello, just straight attack mode. Good morning to you too. My son is devastated. All he wanted was a real family, a real wife, and you threw him out like garbage. He gave me an ultimatum to quit my job. I declined. He chose to leave. Because you made him. What kind of woman chooses work over her husband? The kind who paid off her husband's debt and supported him through 2 layoffs, apparently. She hung up on me. Neat. Day 3, my husband starts texting about his stuff. Not an apology, not a let's work this out, just demands. I need my gaming setup. When can I get my weights? The espresso machine is mine. The espresso machine was a gift from me for his birthday. But sure, I told him he could arrange a time to get his belongings. He wanted to do it when I wasn't there. Nope, I told him I'd be present or it wasn't happening. I don't trust him not to take things that aren't his at this point. Day 5 was when reality started hitting him. He texted, I looked at apartments. How are you affording that place alone? I make good money, remember? The lease is up in 4 months. I want to renew it, in both our names this time. That's not happening. We're still married. I have rights. Yes, the rights conversation. I called my lawyer. Yes, I got a lawyer immediately because I'm not stupid, and confirmed that since the lease is solely in my name and we're headed for divorce, he has no claim to it. He can't force himself onto my lease. But here's where the entitlement goes nuclear. Day 6, I get a call from an unknown number. It's my husband's brother. Hey, so my brother wants to move back in while you guys work things out. We're not working things out. I'm filing for divorce. Silence. Then, he said you'd probably say that. Look, he's driving us crazy here. Can't you just let him stay at the apartment? You can crash with a friend or something. I actually had to put the phone down and laugh. Let me get this straight. My husband issues an ultimatum, leaves when I don't comply, and now wants me to vacate my apartment so he can live there? No, I said. Come on, be reasonable. That place is way too big for one person anyway. Then he shouldn't have left it. The brother went off about how I was being petty, how family is supposed to work through things, how I was ruining their mother with stress. I hung up. Saturday, my husband showed up to get his stuff. Brought his mom and brother as witnesses. I had my own witness, my best friend who's built like a bouncer and has zero tolerance for nonsense. They walked in and immediately started commenting. Mother-in-law, this place is gorgeous. No wonder she won't leave. Brother-in-law, bro, you gave this up? My husband just looked defeated, like someone who bet everything on a bluff and lost. He started packing his gaming stuff. Then he tried to take the TV. That's mine, I said. We bought it together. The receipt says otherwise. My card, my purchase. You're really gonna nickel and dime me? You're really gonna try to take my TV? His mom jumped in. Let him have something. You're keeping this whole apartment. I'm keeping the apartment because it's my apartment. I pay for it. I furnished it. I have the receipts. He's welcome to take what's actually his. It took 3 hours. They tried to claim joint ownership of basically everything. I had receipts and bank statements saved on my phone. Turns out being organized at work translates to personal life too. The best moment? When my husband asked about the espresso machine again. That was a gift, I said, so I can take it? No. I gave it to you as a gift, but you left. Gifts in the marital home stay in the marital home until the divorce is finalized. My lawyer was very clear about that. His mom called me a cold, calculating witch. Close, lady, close. They left with his clothes, his gaming setup, his golf clubs, and his ego in shambles. That night I got a long text. The guilt trip to end all guilt trips. I can't believe you're doing this. I gave you everything. I was a good husband. All I wanted was for you to prioritize our family, and you chose money instead. You're gonna end up alone with your precious career. I hope it keeps you warm at night. I didn't respond. What's there to say? But here's the thing he didn't think about. Without my income, his lifestyle evaporates. His mom's house is 40 minutes from his job. His brother's apartment is tiny. The apartments he can afford on his salary alone? Not in a good area. Not with parking. Not with any of the amenities he's used to. He built a whole life on my foundation and then tried to tear down the house with both of us in it. Guess who's still standing? Update 2, 3 weeks later. All right, buckle up because the last 2 weeks have been a wild ride and I need to vent. First, I filed for divorce. No fault state. So it's pretty straightforward. We don't have kids, thank God, no joint property, apartment is rented, cars are individually owned, and we kept our finances mostly separate except for a shared credit card we used for groceries that I was the primary on, which I canceled immediately after he left. Should be simple, right? Wrong. My husband decided he deserved compensation for sacrificing his career potential to support our marriage. His lawyer sent over a demand for spousal support. His argument? He limited his career growth because he moved to this city for my job 5 years ago, and therefore I owe him for his lost opportunities. My lawyer almost spit out her coffee. He moved for your job? Sort of. I got a promotion that required relocation. He was between jobs anyway. And he's claiming he sacrificed opportunities? Apparently, the pharmaceutical sales scene in our old city was about to explode and he missed out. She just shook her head. I've seen a lot, but this is bold. Here's the reality. He got a better job here. Made more money after the move than before. But sure, let's rewrite history. His initial demand? $2,500 a month in spousal support for 3 years. 30 months of me paying him to, what exactly? Be mad I didn't quit my job? My lawyer countered with reality. 4 years of marriage, no kids, he's fully employed, and he's the one who initiated the separation. In our state, spousal support in these cases is rare and minimal at best. While the lawyers were going back and forth, the personal attacks ramped up. His mother started calling my parents, telling them what a terrible daughter they raised. How I was humiliating her son. How I'd never find another man who'd put up with me. My mom's response, our daughter put up with your son's unemployment twice. I think she's the one who's been doing the putting up with. My dad didn't say anything. He just hung up, which for him is the ultimate insult. Then came the mutual friends situation. We have a friend group we've been part of since we started dating. Thought they'd stay neutral, but my husband started telling everyone I'd kicked him out for working too hard, and that I was obsessed with status. Funny how quit your job or I leave became she kicked me out for working too hard in the retelling. A couple of them texted me, asking what happened. I sent screenshots of his texts, the ones where he literally says I had to quit or he'd leave. The narrative shifted real quick. But the real escalation happened last Tuesday. I came home from work to find my husband sitting in the lobby of my building. He'd somehow talked his way past the doorman, probably mentioned he used to live there. We need to talk, he said. We have lawyers for that. This isn't about lawyers. This is about us. There is no us. You ended us. He followed me to the elevator. I should have called security, but honestly curious what desperate play he had planned. In the elevator, he started his pitch. I've been thinking, I was wrong to give you an ultimatum, but you were wrong too. We both made mistakes. What was my mistake exactly? You didn't fight for us. You just let me go. You told me to let you go if I didn't quit my job. I didn't think you'd actually do it. And there it was, the truth. He'd been bluffing. He expected me to panic, beg, negotiate, maybe offer to go part-time as a compromise he could then whittle down to nothing. He'd planned to manipulate me into giving up my career slowly, and when I called his bluff, his entire strategy collapsed. That's not my problem, I said. You played a game and lost. It wasn't a game, it was about our future. Our future where I give up everything I've worked for because you're insecure about your wife making more than you? That hit a nerve. His face went red. This isn't about money. It's always been about money. You wanted to control the finances by making me dependent on you. That's not partnership, that's a power play. The elevator opened on my floor. I stepped out. We're done here. Talk to my lawyer. He grabbed the elevator door to stop it closing. You can't just throw away 6 years. You threw it away when you made me choose between you and myself. I just picked myself." The door closed. I blocked him with building security that night. Final update. 2 months later. The divorce is finalized. And honestly, it went about as well as I could have hoped, given the circumstances. Let me break down the final outcome. Spousal support. After weeks of negotiation, my husband got 6 months of reduced support, $800 per month. My lawyer argued him down from $2,500 by pointing out his consistent employment, short marriage, and the fact that he voluntarily left the marital residence after issuing an ultimatum. The judge wasn't impressed with his sacrificed career argument when presented with his actual income history, showing he earned more after moving. Yeah, I had to pay something. That stung. But $4,800 total to close this chapter, I'll take it. Personal property. We split things according to receipts and purchase records. He got his stuff, I kept mine. The espresso machine, he fought for it until the very end. My lawyer finally said, let him have it, it's not worth the billable hours. Fine, enjoy your espresso maker bought with my money. Hope every cup tastes like audacity. The apartment. This was never even a real question legally, but he tried until the very end to claim he had some right to it. His lawyer eventually told him to drop it. You can't claim rights to a lease you're not on in a marriage without kids where you voluntarily left. He's now renting a 1-bedroom about 30 minutes from his job. Shared laundry. No doorman. No view. Here's the part that I know sounds petty, but I'm gonna share anyway. About 3 weeks after the divorce was finalized, I ran into one of our mutual friends at a coffee shop. She gave me the update I didn't ask for but definitely needed. My ex-husband is struggling. Not struggling like he's homeless, he's fine, he has a job, but struggling with the reality of his choices. His mom can't help him financially because she's on a fixed income. His brother won't let him crash there because apparently he was a nightmare house guest. Shocking. His car needs repairs he can't afford because he was used to me covering unexpected expenses. And here's the thing that really got me. He's been telling people he let me go because I was too focused on work to be a real wife. Still spinning it. Still rewriting history. Still the victim in his own story. But fewer people are buying it now. Especially after 3 different friends showed me texts where he asked to borrow money. The guy who demanded I quit my high-paying job is now borrowing cash from the same friend group he tried to turn against me. His mom still hates me. Sent me a handwritten letter, actually mailed it, calling me a disgrace to womanhood and saying I'd ruined her son's life. I framed it. It hangs in my home office as a reminder of what I escaped. The brother tried to reach out once, about a month ago, asked if I'd reconsider now that everyone had cooled down. I didn't respond. There's nothing to reconsider. My ex-husband showed me exactly who he was, someone who wanted to diminish me to feel bigger. Why would I ever go back to that? As for me, I'm doing okay. Not gonna lie and say this was painless. 6 years is a long time. I loved him, or I loved who I thought he was. Finding out the person you married would rather you shrink than grow? That messes with you. I've been seeing a therapist, not because I regret my decision. I don't, not for a second, but because I need to understand how I ended up with someone like that in the first place. How I missed the red flags. How I let myself be the sole financial foundation of a marriage where my contributions were resented instead of appreciated. My career is better than ever. Got a promotion 2 weeks ago, actually. More money, better title, bigger team. I told my ex once that my job was important to me. Now I don't have to justify that to anyone. The penthouse is still mine. Still too big for one person, according to my ex's brother. I've reclaimed every room, turned his old gaming corner into a reading nook, painted the bedroom a color he would have hated. My mom called last week, asked how I was doing really. I told her the truth. Some days are harder than others, but I wake up every morning knowing I chose myself. That's worth more than any marriage where I had to be less so someone else could feel like more. To anyone reading this who's facing a similar ultimatum from a partner, a family member, anyone, here's what I learned. When someone tells you to choose between them and yourself, they've already made the choice for you. They're telling you they don't want you. They want a version of you that's easier to control. Choose yourself. Every time. The people who genuinely love you will never ask you to shrink. My ex thought his ultimatum was a power move. It was. Just not for him. I'm keeping the apartment, I'm keeping my career, I'm keeping my self-respect. He can keep the espresso machine,